Hi everybody, welcome back to the Limit Breakdown, where we break down the latest in TV, movies, and everything going on in entertainment. We're back with another top 5. This time we're going to be doing our top 5 Marvel villains. So let's go ahead and kick it off with you, Sid. What are your top 5 villains?
Yeah, see what you did there. Alright, fine. My top 5, I actually had to put a lot of thought into this, because I never think about them like that. But my number 5 is actually Kraven the Hunter from Spider-Man.
Good choice.
Really good villain. He is one of the few people that has actually beaten Spider-Man toe-to-toe on a few occasions. And now that there's a movie coming out with him soon, I'm actually very excited. My number 4 is actually going to be MCU's bad guy, Thanos.
Okay.
Not only in the MCU is he really amazing, and he has a compelling reason of why he's doing it. Even in the comics, he's just a badass character in multiple ways. And there's been times where he even teams up with the Avengers and things like that to bring the worlds together. Really like him. Number 3, Venom. I love Venom's whole story arc. Except for when they started at the end, started divulging off, and there's 70 billion symbiotes now. But the original Venom has always stuck to his guns. He's kind of self-centered, but he's like, I'll do it just because I want to, not because you're telling me. Yeah. Even if it's something good, and I like that. Number 2, the Master of Magnetism, Magneto. X-Men's bad boy. I just love his way of thinking. Magneto's always been one of my favorite villains in the movies, in the comics, in the games. Though his intentions are bad, his intentions are good, his actions are bad. He's like, well, I want to help the mutant race, but I'm going to genocide 1 billion people. But I'm helping these people, though. So, and he's extremely powerful. So I love Magneto. And my number 1 favorite villain is actually Dr. Doom. I love Dr. Doom. Not only is he super smart, he's actually one of the Illuminatis in the MCU, and I think he's the only villain in the Illuminati in the MCU. He's a master of mystic arts, kind of like Doctor Strange, but in this sorcery way. He owns his own country, and he's actually good to his people. He's not he is a dictator, but he's like a nice,
a benevolent
dictator. He's like a benevolent dictator. And he's like, I will do what I need to do to protect my people. Screw everybody else. So I absolutely love Doom. What about you? What's your top 5?
All right, so man, we got some similarities. We're gonna start off with number 5 for me. My number 5 villain is Norman Osborn, Green Goblin.
Nice. I had written it down and I crossed it over.
I had him a little bit higher in my list than number 5, but the other guys kind of edged him out a little bit. But he always has some really good tactics. There was a point in the comic books where he became the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he came out with his own Dark Avengers.
It was actually a really good comic.
He was the first one to actually wear the Iron Patriot suit that the MCU gave to Rhodey.
Yep.
So that was some pretty good story arc over there, and he always just is always to push not just Spider-Man, primarily Spider-Man, but anybody he goes up against, he pushes.
He actually became Spider-Man at one point too.
Yeah. Number 4 is Magneto for me.
Magneto.
Master of Magnetism, and like you said, he's one of those villains in which he makes sense in in his madness, and it's like it's like you're listening to him and you're following along, and you're like, yeah, and then he takes that left turn. It's like you had me in the first half. But yeah, Magneto and. Magneto has always been a very, very favorite villain of mine. And then, of course, him being the primary antagonist against the X-Men always provides for good entertainment. Number 3 is another Spider-Man villain, Dr. Octopus.
Fair enough.
He doesn't get as much love as I feel like he should get. His story arc where he became Spider-Man, where he became the superior Spider-Man. I thought it showed an entire new side of Octavius. He took a lot of the things that Peter had been messing up and fixed a lot of Peter's life. There was a story arc where Peter was the CEO of a multi-million-dollar corporation, and that was all laid on the grounds of the work that Dr. Octopus did when he had taken over Peter's body.
Yeah.
So, but no, he's always been again a really good antagonist for Spider-Man. Has defeated him a couple of times, and the few times that he has put his intelligence to something other than evil, he's done pretty well. Number 2 for me is the MCU's biggest baddie, Thanos, with the snap of a finger. But yeah, I almost ranked him number 1, but the with everything going on in the MCU right now, I'm hoping that they make room for my number 1 entry into it. But without further ado, my number 1 entry is the same as yours. Is Doctor Doom.
Oh man,
Doctor Doom. When I was thinking about who I was gonna do 1 and 2, Thanos and Doctor Doom, it all took me back to that Secret Wars panel where Thanos shows up in front of God Doom with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna mess you up," and then you just see God Doom in the white cloak show up, and it's like a puff of cloud, and the next thing you know, it's him holding Thanos' skeleton through a cloud of dust. It's like you said, he's a very compelling villain. He's the main antagonist against the Fantastic Four. His intelligence, I mean, he's right up there with Reed Richards, with Professor Xavier, Tony Stark, as far as his intelligence. And I'm just really excited to see how they introduce him into the MCU, but comic-wise, I mean, there's just so much material to go off of. Secret Wars in particular is I thought one of his best storylines, so you can't mess with Doctor Doom.
Fair.
But those are our top 5. Why don't you let us know your list of your top 5 Marvel villains in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys next time. All right, so thanks for tuning in, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.
And please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and podcasting services such as Apple Podcast and Spotify.
Thanks a lot. Catch you next time.